Namaste, it's Michelle Skaletski-Boyd, intuitive medium and best-selling author, and I want to bring you a guided meditation to help you return home to yourself. My husband and I dropped off the kiddos so she could take a ski lesson, and we decided to do a little cross-country skiing. I fell, and I laid there after falling for a little while because I was in so much pain, and I was like, oh goodness, right? And I could feel my masculine and my feminine energies fighting one another. Like, do I ask for help from my husband? How come he's not over here? How come he's not picking me up right now? And I had asked him to go ahead. So he's kind of down below assessing, like, is she okay? Is she gonna get up? Do I need to come back up the hill? And I picked myself up, and he later told me he saw me do this. I didn't do that. I must have been when I was grabbing my pole to maybe pull myself up. He might have saw, because I had black gloves on and he was quite far away. I don't know, but I didn't give him a thumbs up, but that's what he saw. Started to pick myself up and I fell back down in the ice because I had very little muscle, and realizing my neck, oh, my shoulder, everything, this isn't good. So I'm laying there and I'm thinking, okay, this ice feels really good, but at the same time, I got to get up quick. So I pull myself up with the ski pole, lift the handle of the other ski pole, and drag it toward me. Now, Steve is watching from several hundred yards away, and he's thinking that I'm getting all fancy and showing off because I can't literally bend over, but from his perspective, he thinks I'm like being all cool. So then I reach out and I grab my glove and I do the same thing in both gloves because just to bend, I'm starting to get dizzy and wonky. Long story short, we finally get off the trail. I had to walk most of it. And as we get off the trail, I am in mending phase. The reason I wanted to do this video is because if you've been like me and you've been pushing yourself, I lovingly ask you, it sounds like a warning, stop. Because your feminine and masculine need to start getting along. Your giving and your receiving need to get along. So take a moment now with me if you would. Take some nice deep breaths. And as you're starting to drop into your center, begin to notice how open you've been to receiving lately. Now, I'm not just talking like receiving bonuses or money or cash or masculine things, right? I'm talking about how open have you been to receiving love and hugs and nurturing, or have you felt like you have been craving that and maybe even have been a little resentful because you haven't gotten so much of that lately? Now, for some of you, you're going to question like, wow, I just don't feel like I've gotten a lot of masculine. I haven't gotten a lot done. I haven't been driven the way I have lately. It feels like I'm even a little bit depressed. I'm not able to move forward. I've been foggy. I've been a little bit out of my body even, right? So you have been feeding your feminine quite a bit. You've been taking a lot of me time. You've been nurturing yourself. You've been opening your intuition, your creative centers, healing. And now when it comes time to actually putting pen to paper, getting things done, it's been difficult because there's been no motivation. There's been very little desire to move forward. In fact, a lot of procrastination. You also might be somewhere in between. Let's move again into that masculine, that go, go, go. Just let it all settle wherever that is for you. And just notice if you're noticing that your masculine and feminine have been at odds. Now I'd like for you to recognize where in your body you felt strained and pained and pushed, where you're even inflamed. And those areas are representations of the masculine, just pushing too hard, too fast. And where in your body you feel nice and relaxed. Even so relaxed that maybe you're not even aware the body part is there. And that's your feminine. And I'd like for you to begin to move the energies of the masculine and feminine almost in a way where each is taking a position as if they're on a dance floor. And they're slowly beginning to feel the other one out. Slowly each taking their positions, almost like on a court with kings and queens, where each are slowly, very slowly noticing one another's energy. And notice how it wants to move, each of the energies. Notice if they're in sync, and if so, how. And begin to move your head in that direction. Begin to move your body in that way. Notice if there's any forcing or any overthinking on your part. What it feels like just to drop down into the feminine energy and to be held by that energy. And to allow that energy to carry you. And notice if you're already really floaty, what it feels like to be in your body. To be aware of the breath. To be aware of the sinking sensation and the rising sensation with every exhale and every inhale. Now, I just want to encourage you that when we're too selfish and when we're too selfless, we go to one extreme or another. So your eyes are still closed. I want you just to recognize that perhaps because of the way astrology landed, perhaps just simply because we lost sight of ourselves, use whatever words feel good to you. We have been out of balance. And our masculine and feminines were at odds. And now they're beginning to come more toward the middle. Beginning to meet each other right at the center point. Using your breath. Using your inner awareness. Simply noticing what that is like. Good. And now, what does it feel like for both selfish and selfless to meet directly in the middle, becoming one, returning to self, returning home? That felt pretty good. That felt really good. So you may consider locking that in and keep tuning in to this YouTube channel. I'm having fun meeting everybody here. And I've also posted some oldies but goodies so that you can return home to yourself time and time again. Namaste.